Good morning, TL Travelers, and welcome to or welcome back to the TL Travel YouTube channel. We are obviously not in our typical locale. Today we're actually in the Kawartha Lakes in Ontario. If you missed my last video, we traveled from Alberta to Ontario with Flair Airlines. And I mentioned in that video that I would be giving you guys a bit of a review of the experience that we had with Flair and booking with Flair and all of those fun things, because everyone's looking for a budget airline in Canada these days. Flights up here are hella expensive if you're not aware. So Flair, I have been looking forward to flying with for a while, and yeah, today I wanted to sit down with you, devote a little bit more time to giving you guys the whole scoop. So yeah, if you love travel content, be sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And let's just jump into a few of the hot tips for flying with Flair Airlines, some of the things that we really enjoyed and maybe some of the things that we didn't. So we're gonna first start really quickly with the booking process, because one of the things that I wanted to talk about right off the top is that when you are booking your flight, you're gonna wanna know your baggage situation ahead of time. So the scoop with Flair Airlines is that they have different baggage pricing fees depending on how close to your flight you're booking. So with your Flair tickets, you are given one personal item to take with you on your flight at no charge, but carry-on items and checked items are both an additional charge. And if you book those checked bags or carry-on bags when you book your ticket or you book them online, they are cheaper than, say, if you were to pay for them when you check in, and then even more expensive if you are to gate check them. So I do know with airlines like WestJet and Air Canada, one of the hot tips to save money is to just travel carry-on, bring your carry-on luggage to the gate, and then get it gate checked, so you don't have to pay for checked luggage. And yeah, I just want to make sure that everyone's well aware that as opposed to life with other Canadian airlines, that ain't gonna work with Flair. So if you are interested in the baggage rates, they are available on the Flair Airlines website. Just in case they change, I would double check, and I will leave the link in the description below. But when I was booking, the price to book your carry-on bag was $35 if you booked online, but then it was $50 if you booked at check-in, and also $50 if you were to gate check it, whereas the checked baggage prices, come on, Terry, you can get it out. Whereas the price for your first check bag was $30 if you were booking it on the website, and then it was $40 if you were to book it at check-in, and then another $10, so $50 if you are to gate check it. And yes, if you observed that the carry-on items are actually more expensive than the checked items, you would be correct. So the next thing that I wanted to mention about booking flights with Flair is to do with the check-in process and the boarding pass, because this one is one that makes sense. They're trying to save money. I totally get it, but it's definitely one that I never thought of and I never really thought to check, which is that Flair Airlines encourages you to check in online ahead of time and have your boarding pass either printed in paper form that you've printed yourself, or to have it available on your mobile device. Because if you wait to check in at the airport and you have your boarding pass printed for you there is an additional charge for that as well, which I believe was $25. Now, one thing that I will say about that I did enjoy was that there was a gate agent there, sort of at the gate agent. There was an agent, a person, a employee of Flair Airlines there at the check-in counter to walk through the line and ask people, hey, did you know that you can check in online and save this cost? Here's how you do it, all of that kind of thing. So you did have a bit of a heads up when you were waiting in line that, like, when you get up to the desk, if you don't have your boarding pass on your phone or printed out, that there would be an extra charge. I appreciated that, but yeah, just something to know for you, especially if you're not going to have mobile data or Wi-Fi or anything at the airport when you check in. Now, the fun part is going to be the actual flight review, and I know that that is one of the things that the majority of you are probably here to hear about. I was pretty skeptical. Obviously, the idea with these really super budget airlines like Flair Airlines, and Swoop is another one that we have here in Canada, is that obviously they're like saving a buck everywhere that they can. So keep in mind that I definitely went in with low expectations. However, after I boarded the aircraft, I was actually, as impressed as I could be given the aircraft that I was on, given the price that I paid, I should say. So really all it was an older aircraft, and you could tell that there had been television screens there in the plane that I was on, at least. You could tell that there were screens there before that had been removed, and in the armrests there, like that's where the little controller would have been, and that had been removed. I'm not sure if they take the screens out just like to avoid people asking about it, or if they take it out for other like, you know, maintenance costs reasons and things like that, but there's no entertainment on the aircraft. Obviously they take those screens away, and things like your food and beverage cart are an additional cost, so keep that in mind as well. Even if you're gonna want just like a Coke or a Pepsi or a coffee or anything like that during your flight, you're gonna wanna have a credit card to make that purchase. But as far as comfort and space goes, there was no more or less space on a Flair Airlines flight than there would be on any other flight. So I did enjoy that was a thing. Obviously, again, older aircraft. Were the seats super comfortable? Not so much, but we weren't in a tighter space than we would be if we were flying Air Canada, WestJet, that type of thing. So our flight here was pretty smooth, and that was great. When we landed, our baggage was on the baggage carousel in a decent amount of time, so there was no delays there, which was really nice. And overall, I would say that for the price that you pay for a Flair Airlines flight, it's definitely worth what you get, like you're getting your money's worth. Now, all that said, Flair Airlines does have a ton of super great discounted cheap flights, but they also have some that are a little bit more on the expensive side. So if you're just traveling with a personal item for a couple of days, that might work perfectly well for you. But something to keep in mind is that with all of the extra charges, food and beverage cart, having your boarding pass printed if that's something that you want to do, and then additional baggage, if you're checking a bag and carrying on a bag, you're gonna wanna consider all of those things when you're comparing your flights between Flair Airlines flights and other just regular carriers like WestJet or Air Canada that do include carry-on and baggage printing and all of that kind of stuff. Baggage printing. Boarding pass printing. Is already built into the price of their flights. And last but not least, I just wanted to touch on two things that I have gotten questions on regarding strollers and pets, because I don't travel with pets and I don't travel with strollers currently, but for all of you who asked me on Instagram, hey there. The price to bring your stroller is absolutely $0, which is great to hear because again, with the budget airlines, they're always cutting corners and, you know, picking up those extra prices or dollars wherever they can, but you are not penalized for having a stroller, so that is $0. And then to travel with pets is $100 plus applicable taxes. However, they do not allow pet carriers on international flights. So keep that in mind. And if you guys have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the description. No, feel free to leave them in the comments below and I will do everything that I can to answer them for you. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a big old like. Let me know if you wanna see more Q&A type content like this in the future. Hit that subscribe button because, hey, welcome to the family. We love to have you here. And yeah, stick around because we have a ton more travel content coming your way every Thursday and Sunday across Canada and around the world. So yeah, till next time, stay great, travel safe. I'll see you in my next video.